Hello. Oh, okay, I put my phone here in case I forgot. Hi, how are you doing? Impressive speech, and I learned how to take photos now. But I'm afraid I will forget what I remembered because of your wonderful speech. Okay, today I'm going to cover how to learn now to win the future. In the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, there is a kind of job called operator. And the main duty of this job is to wake people up. Because during that time, clocks are not reliable and they are not cheap. And for this job, most of them are males who would walk down the street holding long and light poles, tapping on people's bedroom windows, and wake up workers. They are mostly hired by some bigger factories because they have to ensure that their workers, their large workforce, would wake up and go to work on time. And this job disappeared in about the 1970s and disappeared. Because during that time, clocks became popular. I think if you are at the age under 30, there will be a lot of jobs you have never heard of. For example, chimney sweep, pin setter, lamp lighter, town crier. Okay, what are these? I'm not going to cover them here. What about elevator operator? If you're at the age of 50 or above, maybe you are familiar with them. Linotype operator, movable type printing operator, milkman, typist. I can make an endless list. But what about nowadays? Nowadays, there are also jobs keep disappearing. Take a look. People working in the printing industry. Newspapers and magazines have increasingly moved to digital formats. Travel agents. All of you are travel agents, right? You would go onto the internet to research for your trips, to book for your trips, and we watch the ad Trivago every day, right? Insurance agents, real estate agents, and other financial service sales agents. Many financial transactions have now been conducted through online platforms or mobile apps, and the roles of these middlemen have increasingly been reduced. Bank tellers. I used to go to a bank and line up to deal with my bank account issues with the bank tellers. But as I remember, I think I have only physically met a bank teller for 3 times in the last 5 years. Drivers is one of the most common jobs in the world. But do you know that self-driving technology and autopilot system are replacing their jobs? It is expected that many jobs of professional drivers will be replaced. Sales reps and warehouse workers. Sales. Think about it. You buy things online. There are many transactions being done through e-commerce, and warehouse workers have been replaced by automated robots. Corporations make very good use of technology to create great sales. As I remember, last week, Tmall, have you heard of it? Alibaba broke sales at 25.3 billion for one day. 25.3 billion. What is it? I can't handle it. Alright, I can make an endless list. But as you can see, job disappearing is a trend that is irresistible. We cannot stop it. And as you can tell, there is one common feature shared among all those disappeared or to be disappeared jobs. And that is profit maximization. Because of profit maximization, every company, every corporation, every industry is trying very hard to maximize their profits and resulting in continuous automation, technological advancement, convenient access to information. And even nowadays, we're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, right? So, I always discuss with my friends, some of them are here, I would ask them, what do you expect current jobs existing now will be able to survive in the next 20 years? I always discuss with them and make predictions. Many of them will say doctors, lawyers, or other professions, but I'm confident with my guess. I guess hairstylists. Because I don't think people would dare to put their head into a machine and allow the machine to do the hair doing, right? But I don't know, time will tell. Okay. So, what I'm trying to say is that jobs are evolving. Jobs are changing. We cannot stop it. Would you be surprised if I tell you that even the jobs of doctors or lawyers will be affected by artificial intelligence? It is estimated that patients will very soon walk into a clinic and do all those diagnostic tests with devices with AI, and then get a report written by a computer. For lawyers, they spend much time reading and drafting agreements and contracts, right? But do you know that nowadays, some computers are able to take a contract, read it, and compare to thousands or millions of contracts in their database, their limitless database, and draft a perfect contract for their clients. No one can beat the memory of a computer, right? No one can beat a limitless database. So what are the insights from these examples? I'm not saying that the jobs of doctors or even lawyers or other professionals will be totally replaced by technologies. But definitely, their job requirements and job nature are rapidly evolving. I don't think we would expect a doctor in the future who is a profession who possesses a vast amount of medical knowledge and then diagnose a patient according to their experience and give prescriptions accordingly. I think because nowadays patients are able to access medical information about any disease from the internet by themselves. And there is a trend that people tend to deal with their diseases on their own. Thanks to the advancement of technologies, there are a lot of cheaper and more advanced devices to help you do all those diagnoses by yourself, like those blood test devices, or even you are wearing an Apple Watch, right, to check your health status. People will also purchase medicine from local pharmaceutical stores or from global online stores by themselves. What I'm telling you is that time has made many things change. Okay? We cannot stop jobs from disappearing. Think about 3 years. 3 years' time. You know what? Nowadays, the world has changed so rapidly that within 3 years, many jobs will change or will disappear. They will change either in numbers or in importance. There will be drastic change. So, you cannot predict what jobs will be perfect for you. The question, what should we study to get a good job, is no longer valid, right? We cannot predict our future accurately. So would you be, and the future job market is far less structured and much harder to be predicted. And the career paths become unpredictable. Would it be too naive to think that you can still study a discipline in a university for 3 to 4 years and then expect that there will be a guaranteed job waiting for you after graduation? and you stay in that job for the next 20 years safely without much change? No way. Okay? What should we do now? We have to change. The learning model before has to be changed. We have to become fast and effective learner. Be adaptive to any changes. Be able to learn anything throughout our lifetime. I will further explain it later on. I think from now on, you would not, how to say, would you, okay, let me ask you a simple question. Think about it. What is your ideal job? Many jobs today or in the future is not existing nowadays. We cannot even give it a name. Think about it. Many jobs created every day. Okay? And many jobs are being phased out, like I mentioned before. Right? So, in order to cater your working ability, to cater the future, what you have to do is to adapt. You should be prepared to be somebody who can do whatever jobs that will be available in the future. Instead of predicting what job they will be, you should equip yourself to be able to do whatever jobs that will be available. Okay? So you have to become a fast and effective learner, be adaptive to any changes, be able to learn anything throughout our lifetime. How? How can we become such a learner? How can we become, how should we learn to win the future? I have 5 simple rules. First, set aside time for habitual learning. We have to become sustainable learner from now on. That means we cannot stop learning no matter how old you are. In the past, I know time is precious. Sorry, not in the past, forever. Time is precious. And everybody think about, I don't have enough time to learn. But remember, time is a precious resource that we can manage or control. In order to win the future, you have to make learning a habit, to buy time. Right? You have to set aside time for habitual learning. Maybe you can stick to one single rule. I heard of a rule of golden 1 hour rule. Okay? And it's very simple. You can just spare 1 hour for self-improvement every day. Just 1 hour. For me, I would spend 1 hour on my breakfast every day, reading articles, reading newspapers, and watching videos. You can also do that. TED Talk is one of my favorites. You know, I watch a lot of TED Talks for my breakfast. You can make good use of your breakfast, your lunch, or your transportation time. So never forget to spare some time for habitual learning. Develop self-learning ability. This is particularly crucial in the future. In order, you have to strengthen your self-learning ability. Think about 100 or 200 years ago until now. When we want to learn something, we would go to a school. We need a teacher to teach us a fixed set of curriculum. We sit next to other learners, right? Learning the same things in a classroom. We have some goals of learning. We have some standard check. We have some progress check offered by teachers. But do you think it's still valid nowadays? It costs us a lot of time. Think about it. Nowadays, what we should do is to adapt to changes by self-learning. In the market, there are a lot of videos to watch, and they are your teachers now. And you can choose your teachers easily, right? And you can stop watching some videos if you find the teachers cannot help you. But think about in real situation, when you're in the class for the first 50 minutes, if you find the teachers is not good, you have to survive for the next 45 minutes until the first lesson ends, or even you have to survive for the rest of the course, or the rest of the semester. So, right now, classroom is everywhere. Cafes, restaurants, trains, buses, toilets. It is one of my favorites, actually. You can learn from anywhere. You can design, you can tailor-make your learning curriculum by yourself to suit your own needs, not to suit everyone. Okay? You can have an online community, be your classmates to interact with. And you can also set up your goals by applying what you have learned. The recognition is not a piece of certificate or a degree. The third rule is develop the skill of understanding. As mentioned before, technology and science rules the world. But does it mean that you cannot succeed if you are not a science guy? The only key is that you only have to understand how science works in the world, how system works, how the world operates under system, to think in a system point of view, in a science point of view. You have to use technologies, to use those technological systems so that you can still stay in the game, not lag behind. Think about Alibaba Jack Ma. He's not a science guy, but he understood the internet is important. He understood that the internet could bring changes to the world. And then he collaborated with other experts. The skills of collaboration. You do not have to be the expert in everything, because you don't have the time to become such a person. You don't have to be an expert in coding, in computer science, in mechanics. All you have to do is to collaborate with other experts, to build a team, to optimize the strength of your team members, to learn from one another. Jack Ma is a perfect example. Alright, simply applying these rules allow you to survive the many changes in the future. But I'm sure that most of you do not aim only at survival, right? I'm sure you want to excel in your career, to lead the market, to lead the industry. Then you have to professionalize what you are doing by being innovative. Think about esports. Have you heard of it? 電子競技. We haven't heard of it many years ago. No one paid attention to it. No one had ever wondered why gaming can become such a sport attended by competitors worldwide in international arenas. Because this all happened because the gaming industry stepped forward to initiate a change. They professionalized what they have been doing. They professionalized those gamers. They shaped gamers into professional team members, and the victory of a team relies very much on skills, on communication skills, on teamwork, on well-planned strategies. And you know what? Esports will become one of the major events in Asian Games in 2022 and expected to be an Olympic game in 2024. All this success because they have great collaboration among game industry, game developers, event organizers, gamers, coaches, marketing experts, so you can tell the power of collaboration. E-sports. This is a kind of new thing. This is innovation. As long as you can create something that nobody has ever done, this is innovation. All market leaders in any field are professional innovators. Before the talk, some students from Hong Kong Baptist University asked me whether I would like to stay inside or outside a kaleidoscope. Without doubts, I chose outside. If I choose to be inside, I would be passive and wait to see all those beautiful but unexpected, unpredictable changes. Only when someone outside the kaleidoscope makes the rotation. If I choose to stay outside, I have the control. I can initiate, at least I can initiate to rotate it and see those changes by myself to create all those beautiful and unpredictable changes. So all of you, you have a kaleidoscope in your hand. You have your live kaleidoscope. Try to initiate, to make rotation, to make changes. And I'm sure there will be a wonderful world of possibilities in front of you. Thank you.